Good morning, guys, and welcome to freezing cold Encarnacion in the south of Paraguay. I took a 6-hour bus from Asuncion yesterday to get down here because there's some old Jesuit ruins from the early days of European colonization here that are really well preserved. Right now I'm staying with this really sweet family in the outskirts of the city, so my plan is to get an Uber into town, find some food, find a bus to take us out there and see it. Join me. Okay, I'm here at the bus station now. Just got a little Milanesa sandwich to take with me. It's pretty hectic here. I don't think getting to the ruins is going to be a problem because as soon as I set foot on the platform, like 100 men all desperate to take me with their respective companies. So I'm going to find one of them to take me now and see how we get on it. Okay, I got my ticket. It was 20,000 Paraguayan Guaranis, which is about $3 US, which isn't too bad, but it's not for half an hour, so let's have a little explore around the bus station. And you guys see these cats on the roof? They're pretty sweet. Got all these little shops selling various items that Paraguayan travelers may require. Got some shoes, some footballs, some thermals for the yerba mate that's so popular in this part of the world. Okay guys, while we wait for the bus here, it seems like an opportune moment to talk a little bit about the history of what we're going to see today. So 400 years ago, when Spanish colonists first arrived to these shores, Paraguay immediately stood out as a place where it was far enough inland by the Rio Paraguay, which we saw in the last video, that they could extract resources, yet close enough to the sea that they could easily ship them out and get them back to Europe. And when they arrived here, they were met with the Guarani People, which is they lived a very indigenous tribal life here. And so they set up these Jesuit missionaries basically to firstly convert them to Catholicism and try and give them a better quality of life through agriculture and a written language, use of a proper economy, and secondly to create a more subservient workforce for the extraction of resources like timber and sugarcane, cotton, yerba mate, things that were in high demand in Europe at the time. We've traveled about 20 kilometers out of the city and you can see it's like farmland that looks pretty undisturbed by humans even in this day. So imagine what it would have looked like 400 years ago when European colonists first arrived. Okay guys, we made it. This is the first of the sites. There's actually two. This one is Trinidad. Obviously shares a name with Trinidad and Tobago. It's the Spanish word for Trinity. The missionaries named it after the Holy Trinity. And here we have some kind of statue. Not sure if that's Jesus himself or what, but it's certainly along those lines, eh? Not exactly sure where I'm going, and it's really raining, unfortunately. Okay guys, we made it to the entrance. It's a real shame about the weather because my camera's not waterproof. I suppose I am in the right place to pray for some sunshine, but I'm sure God has more important things on his mind than helping me vlog, so just try and film what I can. Eh? Okay guys, we've made it. So this one, the Trinidad mission, was established in 1706, over 300 years ago. And it's super well preserved, one of the most well preserved missionaries across the entire continent, which makes it so famous. It's Paraguay's only UNESCO heritage site. Okay guys, so this is the main church, and wow, it's insanely beautiful. And it's difficult to imagine it, but if you picture 300 years ago, this is state-of-the-art infrastructure here in South America, and the Guarani people would have never seen anything like it, right? Incredible. Okay guys, we've taken refuge here in the museum, and it's really quite interesting. They have lots of artifacts that were once part of the walls and things here that have since crumbled, but how beautiful they are. It's fascinating. So it's a mixture of Spanish colonial architecture and the arts of the Guarani people. So you won't find sculptures like this anywhere else in the world. And here we have a model of what the church looked like in 1760. This is before it crumbled. So you see this like big dome is very similar to churches around the same time in places like Spain and Italy. It's the only one like this in Paraguay or in the whole Misiones region, which includes Argentina and Uruguay as well. It's fascinating stuff there. This place is so cool. You can honestly just walk around here for hours. So it's the first time the Guarani people were introduced to things like formal education and banking system. And while the Jesuits were here for their own advantage and were eventually expelled, you do have to say that places like this established the kind of foundation that allowed South American states to develop into the modern self-sufficient nations that we know them as today, which is pretty cool. Being here, it does make it easier to understand exactly how Catholicism spread so quickly through this continent. I guess just picture your family for generations has just been living nomadic lives in the forests, living in straw huts and things like that, and all of a sudden a bunch of dudes show up on a massive boat wearing shiny armor with the know-how to put towns like this together, albeit they were built by the Guaranis themselves while the Spanish sat back and relaxed. But you would think they're onto something, right, when they're telling you to put faith in their God. And I guess that's why South America now is one of the most devoutly Catholic places in the entire world. Okay guys, I've had to abandon the missions. The rain is just too bad now. I did just put the camera away and sort of walk around a bit. It's a fascinating place, just sort of picturing what it was like back in the day. I'm now just hiding out from the rain in this like information center kind of thing. I'm gonna wait a bit, have some lunch, and then see, there's another site about 6 or 7 kilometers away which I was initially planning on walking to. I'm now on the fence there, so I'll get back to you. Okay guys, just when all hope seemed lost, I met 2 French travellers and together we split a taxi to this other site. So yeah, I'm quite excited. Let's explore this one now. Cool. Wow, look at this place guys. So this building was the main church of the 2 sites. Wow, it's spectacular. You can see all these pillars here would have once held the roof up before it all came down. But man, just think about all the things that would have gone down in this church. It's crazy. See how well preserved it is. Just walk through it 300 years later. It's wild. When I was reading online, it says not only is the church used for things like weddings and big ceremonies, but they also, back in the day, there was a stage here and they used it to for theatre, to do plays and things like that, stories from the Bible. That made it easier for the native people to interpret the stories, things like that. And imagine what one of those would have been like. They were done in Latin and translated by the missionaries for the Guarani people. And these are the town's main inhabitants today. The birds. Man, what a place. I'm really glad I came here, even if it was a bit of a mission. I do apologize for not knowing the most about it. I'm sure if you're interested, there'll be many much smarter people than myself available on the internet to tell you all about it. But man, it's highly interesting. I do recommend, if you're ever in Paraguay, you also go on the mission to the missions. Okay, I'm back at the main bus station now. That was quite the adventure, wasn't it? Pretty tired, pretty cold, pretty wet. I think I'm going to spend the rest of the evening, I'm going to walk into town, get some food, then just head back to my hotel, back to Encarnacion tomorrow. I'm not really exactly sure what I'll do from there, but I'll let you know in due course. Thank you for watching as always. Goodbye.